If you watched one of my last videos, you know that there's something wrong with my 3D printer. So here's the deal. The last few 3D prints have not been working well, so I replaced the tip on the hot end of my 3D printer, which the hot end is this little piece right here. I replaced the tip. When I took the old one out, I noticed a little bit of metal shavings on there, and I'm like, okay, maybe it's stripped, but the new one went in fine, so I was like, okay, it should be fine. About 12 hours later, the 3D print was completely messed up, and the tip of the 3D printer was in the 3D print. So without further ado, this is gonna be a quick, concise video of how to replace the hot end. This is kind of like an upgrade piece on a Creality Ender 3 Pro. How to replace the hot end or fix it. So let's go. Step number 1, remove this little Allen key screw and this one right here. So to keep track of screws like this, I 3D printed a small dish just like that to keep track of them. Okay, next step, take off that screw right there and that screw right there. Next step, snip off these zip ties. Also remembering this one down here. I want you to keep in mind, if your hot end on your 3D printer does not come with this wire, and you don't want to replace the wire, that's okay. All you'd have to do here, well, I can't really show you on this one, right here on the hot end, you can see that screw, so you just undo that screw, the small wires would come out, and then underneath this rubber piece right here, it will expose a small little black screw. You loosen that, and then the red wires will come out. Now, those two red wires are the actual thing that powers the heating element inside, I believe. And there might be something wrong with mine. I'd rather just replace the whole entire thing with the wires, heating element, extruder, nozzle, hose, all at once. It's like 14 bucks on Amazon. That way I don't have to worry about it. Let's keep going. All right, now we got this disassembled. You're just gonna take the bed off the 3D printer. So all that is 4 screws. You just unspin these all the way down and the bed will pop off. Make sure to catch these little springs which are on the bottom. And then this whole entire platform, you can just slide out the back. Next, take out that screw, and that screw. And now this plate should just come off, and just be careful because this fan right here has wires connected. Okay, so these 2 red wires, they go through this line all the way down, come around the back, underneath, enter the box, and they are right here. To unscrew them, you just loosen the 2 screws that they go into. So I'm going to just knock off all this plastic, unscrew these wires, and then as we pull the old ones out, we'll put the new ones back through, make it a little bit easier. Let me show you. Damn, this is solid plastic. Not easy to break off. I should heat it up. All right, so next I'm gonna take a little black set screw in here. There we go, got the little screw out. So once you get that little set screw out on the bottom, this red wire will come out, but you got these 2 sensor wires connected underneath the screw. Now on this old one, it's so covered in plastic, I'm actually just going to snip these wires because I don't really care. I got a new one, I'm gonna replace them. Okay, so now that we're left with these 2 red wires, we got the heating element out. Now you get the wires of your new tip, and what you're gonna do is get some tape, and you're gonna tape the old wire to the new wire, including this little white plug on the end. Okay, so I'm starting to pull out the wire, these 2 thick red wires. They look the same as the end does. And as I pull them out of here, it's gonna pull the new stuff all the way up through this tube, and they're gonna end up down here. And now these 2 white wires, these are the 2 wires that I cut off on the end, and they are connected right down here. They're the last slot. So all you have to do is grab onto it and pull it up. Okay, so this one popped out. I just have to give it some more force. This popped out. This is the sensor wire. So we're gonna pull this out as we pull out the red wire and just keep feeding the new stuff all the way through. This might look like a big mess, but just pull away all the other different color wires so they're out of the way. And now you can see this new joint that we taped up. It's right here. Now to get it from here all the way through this wire and underneath, I had to just cut off all the zip ties and then this little tape material that's under here. You just flip it over, use a razor, cut that off, and then you can get this big lump to fit through. Okay, so here are the new wires. They've been fed all the way through. All this old stuff right here is just gonna hang on. To get these old wires out and put the new 2 red ones in, if you follow the old ones, you'll see this little green box. You gotta loosen that screw, and the second screw, you can see where these go in. So you're gonna loosen those 2, and these are gonna pull out, and then what you gotta do is get these new ones, and you're gonna have to plug them in like that underneath the screw, and put the screw back in. And then for the white wire, I can take that right now, and just plug that into this last spot where we took out the old one. Just like that, and push it down. Now you're going to go ahead and plug these 2 wires in the place of the other ones, and from my understanding, it doesn't matter which wire goes where. I'm going to go ahead and just pop out both these wires. Actually, they just fell out by themselves. Look at that. Now this might be a little bit tedious. You got to get these 2 new ones, and you got to feed them underneath the first screw and the second screw. There's a hole on the back side. You just got to push them in there and then tighten it down. Now it might take a couple tries for you to get that wire in there and for it to stay in, so make sure you do a little tug test. Just pull on it just very gently and see if it pops out. That one didn't, so I'm gonna get the next one. Got a little bend on it. Okay, so now when I pulled out these 2 new red wires and the white one, it pulled all of this extra stuff with it. These wires connect to the fan on the end, so you're gonna have to grab these. Make sure you don't grab it by the fan, but grab the actual wires themselves and pull them back this way, and you'll see them go back in. Next step here to put it back together is to get this cover, flip it on top, and screw down. And now the bed comes underneath. Each corner of the bed has a screw. It goes back through the hole on the platform. Just remember that you need to get each spring. There's 4 of them, 1 for each corner. You put the spring on the bolt, and then it drops back through the hole. And then you get one of your leveling wheels, and you put it back on. Next, we get the hot end itself, put it on like this, and we put the 2 screws back in. Next, you get the fan cover, and to get that on, you just put the wires up like that. If you have any slack, you can push up inside. Now this upgrade kit comes with a better tube. I already got one on there, but that's fine. You just push in this little ring right here, pull the old one out, and then the new tube just goes on, and then you just push it back in. Also remember, this little boot has to go on. I already put the cover on, but that's okay. You can just go underneath like this and pop on the boot just like that. All right, there we go. 3D printer is all reassembled, and you can see the filament is coming out just fine. There it is. If you guys enjoyed this video on how to fix or upgrade your Creality Ender 3 or Ender 3 Pro, this video is quick. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, leave a comment if you want. You can also follow me on Instagram at KB_KingBuilds. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.